Welcome to Washington Exec's video series. I'm Amanda Ziede, Senior Reporter with Washington Exec, and today I'm joined by Rocky Thurston. He's a Senior Vice President and a General Manager of Perspecta's Civilian, State, and Local Business Group. Thank you so much for joining me today, Rocky.
My pleasure, Amanda. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Of course. So we've been using this platform to talk to GovCon executives about trending topics in industry right now, specifically the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on the industry, on its partners. And today we're continuing the discussion on the pandemic's impact on the customer mission and the changing needs of customers and future strategies during this time. So Rocky, you work directly with resolving and meeting your customers' IT needs. So I'm wondering how you've seen the needs of critical missions change for your customers during COVID-19.
Well, first and foremost, Amanda, Perspecta's work and our employees are actually part of our nation's critical infrastructure. And as a result of that, our business has been deemed essential. So that's a good thing for our business. Our customer missions actually haven't changed. But the way they need to conduct their business, their mission, has changed quite a bit. Specifically in my business, the Civilian, State, and Local Group, we've had to come up with innovative ways to support all of our customers, in particular while working from home. And along the way, our teams, our Perspecta employees, have helped their customers develop things like continuity of operations plans. And in some cases, we've actually helped our customers develop their own telework model.
So what other things has your team done in order to meet, the changing IT needs? In other words, what's been your team's COVID-19 response strategy with customers?
Well, when this broke, I think around, we started seeing this around the 1st of March this year. Most agencies went from an in-person workforce, as you're well aware, to a remote work model. And the same had to occur in our business as well. Most of our employees were required to immediately work from home. In cases where that was not possible, employees have had to work in shifts, and when you're working in shifts on location, you still have to maintain all the CDC guidelines, social distancing. We've now gone to enforcing face masks. And along the way, we still have to support those customer mission requirements. A perfect example of this is with the United States Senate customer. This is a program that we started late last year, and then this pandemic happens. Well, as you know, we needed Congress to still do their jobs, and they've had to be enabled to complete the CARES Act and the HEROES Act, and they could not do that unless they were supplied with critical IT infrastructure to allow them to perform their mission. Well, we were on the front lines of that, and we enabled the Senate in particular to move to a full telework model, and allowed them to have their email communication and all the necessary access, digital access they needed to complete their roles. And frankly, that did not go unnoticed. We're very proud of this. We've received many kudos from multiple Senate offices and representatives, including committee chairs and senior leadership, for the work that we did there. We're really proud of that.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. So how do you anticipate the strategy evolving into the future as restrictions, slowly lift, but potential concerns around the spread of the pandemic remain?
Well, as Perspecta, we have to move forward. And even though it's a time of uncertainty, we just have to move on. And we're doing this with a strategy. And it's a strategy of preparedness. It's a strategy of empowerment, and it's this notion of working together, togetherness, if you will. And we're doing that as a company, and we sort of treating the company and our employees as family along the way. How would you treat your family? You want to keep them safe. So that's what it's about. It's about keeping our employees and our customers safe, protected, and healthy during this time. So to enact that strategy, we actually created an internal task force to create and oversee a very comprehensive framework. One in which that we walked through. At the beginning of this, we were on multiple calls every day, 7 days a week, setting this up. And we put together this really comprehensive framework that supports, it's going to support this phased transition. So much like the states, where as a workforce, we're going to have a phased approach of our employees returning to the workforce, in returning to the workplace, I should say. This approach, we had to be careful because every state, every local, municipality has their own sort of guardrails around their phase transition. So we had to take a site by site, program by program, state by state approach to our return to work program. Now, we realize when we do return to work, there's going to, you've heard the phrase new normal. There is going to be a new normal for a while at least, and that's going to be requiring those face masks, increased social distancing, temperature checks at facilities. We can do that with nurses. We can do that with kiosks. And we're still going to maintain some discipline around telework. I think that's going to remain for some time, especially where customer missions, where that's feasible. We're going to have to continue to increase our teleconferencing capabilities, which, there's a variety of capabilities that are out there today, all of which we're using as a company. All these things are going to be put in effect in all Perspecta facilities. And again, going back to that number one reason of keeping our employees safe and enabling ongoing business operations to support that customer mission. We're also working with our customers to make sure that everyone that works with them can come back to the site safely. So it's not just Perspecta. We have others who are working at our facilities. We're going to keep them safe as well. That's the premise of our whole plan.
Wonderful. Well, we do plan to, continue tracking this, and as the industry reopens in certain ways, so I'm sure we'll catch up with you again soon. Thank you so much for this book with us today, Rocky. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Amanda. Thank you.